Guys, how far now? Oh boy, I'm inside the rain and inside the cold though. Yeah, somewhere in Europe. So basically, I just want to talk about this briefly. Talk about this presidential directive to withdraw policemen from VIPs, so-called VIPs in Nigeria, and that the police should return back to policing. The presidential directive by the president. This is actually something an advocacy I've been championing for many years now. You know, and because we all know why there's insecurity in Nigeria. The police that is constitutionally empowered to protect the country has abandoned policing for bribe taking, errand boy, house boy work with so-called VIPs all over the country. Out of the 400,000 police officers, you know, that we have in the country, we have less than 10,000 fighting banditry all over the country. 39,000, they are either following big men all over the place, following politicians around, or collecting bribe. You know, so it doesn't just stop here. It shouldn't stop here at the president just making a declaration. This directive by the president, which is very highly commendable, must be followed. Must be followed through. Just look at. You know, this is an example of a society that works. Here, if you call police here, it will not even take, I'm very sure it won't take 2 minutes, the response time for police to come. Because the police is doing the work that police should be doing. This is a society that works. You know, but the reverse is the case for our country. You know, so whether the IG will comply with the directive of the president is another thing. Because we have seen many of this kind of statements, especially the former Inspector General of Police. Even this IG has said before that, police is going to be withdrawn from VIPs, but police, they remain with the VIPs, the so-called VIPs. In my view, I'm further appealing to the president that even the police, that they should be withdrawn from even politicians. No, everybody should go and look for civil defense to use. Everybody. The only people that should be exempted from using the civil defense is the president can use the police, the vice president, governors, deputy governors. Yes, the DSS and other security agencies can protect First Lady of the Federal Republic, you know. But you see other First Ladies, wives of governors who are claiming to be First Lady all over the place, you know, going with hundreds of police, you know, they should return all of them. The principal members of the National Assembly can use police, like the Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, Speaker, Deputy Speaker. But every other senator, every other House of Rep member, they should go and use civil defense. The civil defense should be empowered. Immediately, following this directive, the civil defense should be empowered to create an ally squad. They should carry sophisticated guns like the DSS, you know, and they should be adequately funded to cater, because there will always be VIPs in our midst. Even in the US, in Europe, in America, all over the place, in UK, there are VIPs. And these VIPs must be protected. So it is considered that we will always have VIPs in our midst, and that these VIPs need protection. It is actually considered. However, the civil defense can do this job effectively. It can't do the job. So the civil defense should be empowered to cater for these people. You know, so it is my view that it should not just be a paper directive. It must be fully implemented in all ramifications. Our leaders, they travel, they go to Europe, they go to America, they go to Canada, they go to Asia, they see how systems work. You know, so just look at the nation. Look at the nation. Look at your nation. Where societies work. Nations where societies work. So they all travel. They see these things. They see that systems can actually work. You know, but they are reluctant in making Nigeria work. Because if Nigeria work, they will no longer benefit. So, and again, my next advocacy will be for decentralization of funding for the police. Because it appears to me that billions are released annually for policing in the country. But it does not end up at the divisions. These billions are siphoned along the way. So there must be a system. There must be a system where the funding for the police can actually trickle down and get to the end users, which is the divisions. Because if you look at majority of these people, that are lobbying for posting to go and serve big men, you will discover that one of the reasons why there's going to be a serious pushback now with the presidential directive, why many of the police attached to big men will not want to go back, is because, and why some of the people, the commissioner of police, the DPOs will not comply, is because these police people that are posted to serve with big men, they bring returns back to the Oga in the office. They bring returns. So if they are withdrawn, returns will no longer come. That's why it's more or less like buying and selling now. It's more or less like buying and selling. So I spoke about this conversation earlier this morning on my TikTok channel. You know, because I've been forced to go to TikTok now because I hear somebody is impersonating me on TikTok. And the person is following and getting a lot of followership on TikTok. So I've had to go to TikTok. So I had this conversation earlier on TikTok. I did TikTok live early this morning over the same subject matter. And I'm having to come here again and do same. The reason why funding for the police is crucial is because even now that they've been withdrawn, if they are not properly funded, and the proper funding is not for budget to be increased for them, no, the accountant general should pay their divisions directly. They should stop paying money to the inspector general of police. They should stop, because the money will get lost in transmission. The money is likely going to get lost in transmission. So pay these people directly. Pay the division, pay the states. It's another form of local government autonomy for the police. That just pay them directly and have designated accounts where maybe Office of the National Security Advisor or the CBN can credit the account directly. Because a lot of money get missing in transmission. You know, from my experiences with people who are fighting, you know, in the front lines, a lot of mismanagement happens in Nigeria. So I think my next advocacy is going to be on decentralization of funding for the police. That's going to be my, because this advocacy about recalling VIPs, why do you need, and we all have a collective responsibility and duty to ensure that this presidential directive is not only on paper. If you see any big man still with police after this directive, do a video, send it to me, let me post. Even if your pastor comes to church next week Sunday, still using police escort, it is your duty and responsibility for you to send it to me. Or if you cannot post it, send it to me. I volunteer to post it. I'll be posting the advocacy free of charge. That so pastor is still using police escort, despite the directive of the president. So big man, Nollywood actor is still using policeman. So big person is still using police. All of them should go. All of them should go and use civil defense. Because that police person that is with the pastor, with that celebrity, or the celebrity, or the Yahoo boy, or the Rose girl, or the side chick of the governor, or the side chick of the deputy governor, or the side chick of the son of the governor, or the son of the governor, or son of the deputy governor, or son of the senate president, or son of the deputy senate president. Those police officers They are meant to protect you and I. They are supposed to be in Zamfara, in Kwara, so that they will prevent abduction of the schoolgirls. So we have a collective responsibility to ensure that we hold the Nigerian police accountable on this new presidential directive. Let it not be one of those numerous directives that never see the, the light of day. So I'm encouraging each and every Nigerian. Let me just show you guys around and see why it is important for a nation to work. Guys, just look around. Just look around, guys. Just look. Nigerian leaders come here. They come here. Some of them, their children live here. They shop here. Some of them, their children school here. But they don't want Nigeria to work. So this is what we are talking about. You understand? This is exactly what we are talking about. That it's not rocket science. Leadership is not rocket science. Like this directive now is one of the ways to go. This directive is one of the ways to go. We can ensure that if this directive is truly implemented and it is effective, that we will see an improvement in the security architecture of Nigeria. And this is the truth. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Even those that are using these police people, the so-called celebrities and celebrities, and the big men. We shouldn't be seeing Aliko Dangote moving with police again after this directive. We shouldn't be seeing Tony Elumelu moving with police after this directive. They are all VIPs. We shouldn't be seeing Otedola Boa moving with police after this directive. All of them should go and use the elite squad of the civil defense. These security people, they are supposed to be policing the borders, the nation. They're not supposed to be policing Dangote, Femi Otedola, and Whiskey and others. No. They are supposed to be doing the work of policing Nigeria. So, Mr. President, while I'm congratulating you, I'm commending you partially for the paper directive, because until the directive becomes effective, we cannot commend you yet. What I'm commending you for now is the paper directive. But Mr. President, you must sack the illegal IGP if he refuses to implement the order effectively, not partial implementation. It must be effective. The Nigerian police force is the only security formation in Nigeria that is in almost every village in Nigeria. So imagine everybody goes back to policing. Bandits will not be claiming territories in Nigeria and running a government inside a government, inside a federation. So this is my take. I'm freezing because it's extremely cold and it's raining cat and dog here. But because I was on TikTok live earlier, and I just had to come again here and also share my 2 cents on this subject matter. So thank you everyone for joining the live. And although I wasn't able to bring anybody online to contribute, but I just wanted to rant and express my views over some of these burning topical issues in our country. Guys, see, since I've been away from Nigeria for like almost a month now, about 3 weeks plus, and I can tell you that the concept of landlord travel and see remains a valid assertion. What my eyes have seen in about 3 or 4 countries that I've visited, there are about 4 countries that I've visited, in the last 3 weeks plus, has been eye-opening. Of course, I travel all the time, but every time I travel, there's something new that I see. There's something that Nigeria can learn from There's something that Nigeria can do, you know. So, and I just hope that one day our leaders will turn a new leaf, you know, and begin to do what is right, what is just, what is equitable, you know, and what is compassionate. You know, majority of our leaders are very heartless, you know, and truly, you know, I wish that they can genuinely repent. Thank you, everyone, for joining and listening to my rant. God bless you.
In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Gentle Media TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe, connects us together, no matter the road. Watch us rise, hear the voices roar, unity and diversity, together we